Yo guys, this is Russell Kicks, my name is Jared, and this is your AEW review. What a banger of a show we got. It was absolutely incredible. We got the return of Hangman Adam Page, we got an awesome 8-man tag, Darby Allin and MJF doing some really good stuff, and we're going to go through everything, 2-year anniversary, how far we have come. So if you like any of my other content and if you like this video, be sure to subscribe. Any support, guys, really means a lot, but let's get into it. So I was super pumped for this show, of course. I mean, the card was stacked. For a Dynamite show, again, the card was stacked. It seems to be stacked every week, and I still find people complaining about their roster's too big. Oh, they need to get rid of some people I've seen on Twitter, and it's just, no, they're doing it fine. They've got it on a rotation, and we're getting this bangers every week. And who would want to complain about that? I don't understand why anyone has an issue with great wrestlers every week on 2 shows. Anyway, but the show started off hot. It started off with an 8-man tag. We got the Elite versus the Jurassic Express, Bryan Danielson and Christian Cage, and it was one of the better 8-man tags that I've seen in a while. If you really consider who was in the match, what else would you expect? There was a slight botch in the match, but we'll get to that in a second. Yeah, what a start to the show. So the entrances, they wanted to get as much of this match on TV as possible. Tony Khan came out and said that he didn't want any ad breaks during this match, so he cared a lot about it, of course, and they made their entrances on Instagram Live, I believe, which I tuned into. I can't remember if it was Instagram, I think it was, or Facebook, or maybe both, but yeah, I watched that. And then the show literally just went straight over to Fight TV, and there we go, the match has started. It was, like I said, if you'd watched the match last week, I think it was a 6-man tag. This match was basically just a follow-on from that, but it was so good. We obviously included Kenny Omega and Bryan Danielson again. There's a lot of good stuff in this match. I don't even know where to begin with it. There's so much that happened. But basically, it started off quick, tagging in and out. Everyone was getting their stuff in. It was such a fast-paced match that I can't even begin. All I remember is obviously they did their kissing. The Young Bucks did the kiss spot with Adam Cole, which is obviously so over. And the Elite actually got some new music this week, which I think is very NWO-ish. Very NWO-ish. I was like, ooh, people are going to notice that immediately, and they're going to start like, they're copying WCW again, oh my god. But no, it's an improvement. I like this music a lot. So they debuted that. There was some crazy stuff in. So basically, the match got towards the end. Oh, by the way, Luchasaurus in this match look the best I've ever seen him. He does his stuff, and the stuff that he can do for someone his size is absolutely ridiculous, and he does it cleanly now. That was his issue back over the last 2 years. It wasn't all clean, he'd botch here and there, but now it's just he's got it all wrapped up. His hot tag is awesome. His hot tag is one of my favourites, actually. When he hits it right, his hot tag is better than anyone's. And yeah, so Luchasaurus stood out in this match. I love this spot. So in last week's 6-man tag, there was a spot where Adam Cole went for the Panama Sunrise and actually hit it on Luchasaurus, and I was a bit annoyed about this because it didn't look believable. But this week, Adam Cole went for the Panama Sunrise, and Luchasaurus caught him in the chokeslam, and then obviously he did his chokeslam onto Kenny Omega this time, when he grabs both guys and then chokeslams one on top of the other. It's such a good move, and he hits that this time, so he's learned from last week. So I like the little storytelling bits and Easter eggs in the match. Consistency from AEW again, which we all love to see. So yeah, we got some really good action to start off with. Again, look who was in the match. I want to talk about Kenny and everything. Obviously we're going to get into Kenny and Bryan Danielson. I believe even more than last week now that Kenny is, of course, going to lose the belt to Adam Page, Hangman Page. He's going to drop the belt at Full Gear, and then he's going to have his rematch with Bryan Danielson, and it's going to be non-title, and it's just going to literally be to who is the better wrestler out of the two. And who doesn't want that? It's going to be great. We're going to love it. It's this way there can be a winner. No one, really gets hurt. I think Brian, in my opinion, I obviously booked Brian to go over Kenny. Kenny can take 2 losses. It's from Hangman, the new champion, and Bryan Danielson, so I don't think it will do him much harm. And it's Kenny Omega. I know. I think Kenny at some point is going to turn babyface, and he's going to get kicked out of the Elite. And I think that's why Adam Cole is there, to take over from the Elite. And I think that whole original Elite setup at some point is not going to exist anymore. When they first started with Cody, Hangman and everyone, that soon is going to be gone. The executive vice presidents will no longer be together at all in the company, and they'll all have separated, and I think that's what's best, to be honest. I can see Hangman and Kenny, if they're both babyface, them teaming up, maybe to take on the Young Bucks and Adam Cole and whoever else comes in when their contract ends. Kevin Owens. Oh, hopefully Kevin Steen, but anyway. So, yeah, this match was great. So it comes to the end. Jungle Boy basically tries to win the match on his own because Christian, he gets injured. I'm not too sure if it's legit or not. I haven't really seen anything. I'd imagine... Well, I'm not too sure. It's a weird one, isn't it? Because he did get the Indie Taker on the outside and it looked brutal. But I don't know. I couldn't tell anyway if it was legit injury or not. I'll have to look that up and research that. I haven't seen too much about it, so it might not have been. But anyway, so he was taken out of the match. Jungle Boy has a really good run. He's doing all his stuff, but the numbers got overwhelming basically. At one point they to end the match, they hit him with the golden V-trigger, or what do they call it? I can't remember what they call it, but they all basically need him in the face, and then they got the pin. And yeah, I think that story's kind of ran its course now. Kenny's obviously going to be moving on to Hangman. I'm not too sure what the Young Bucks and Adam Cole are going to be doing, but I think they don't need to come back to this now until Bryan Danielson eventually goes against Kenny again, and then they can perhaps revisit it. But at the moment, they don't really need to go back there and touch on that again. But that was a really good segment, really good match. I am grading that match a solid B. A B? Oh, a B plus. I'm going to give it a B plus because that was a really good match to start the show. No adverts, it was great. Even though I watch it on Fight TV, what they're doing, they're filling. It's filler when there are ads, and I think when you're on TV you've got the tiny little box in the corner, but if you're on Fight TV you get to watch the whole thing, and it's just filler. Sometimes some good stuff happens, like the ladder match. There was some good stuff in the ad break in the ladder match, but it's not really too important. But anyway, really not that important. So next up we got Sami Guevara versus Bobby Fish. And I am a huge fan of Bobby Fish before his NXT days. Obviously, when he was in Ring of Honor, he was great. He was so good. Red Dragon were my favourite tag team before they became... until they joined up with Adam Cole and became the Undisputed Era. So... Anyway, I was really looking forward to this match between Sami Guevara and Bobby Fish. I liked the video package that they gave Bobby Fish. He looked really legit in it, and I think it came across well. The match was great. The match was really, really good. I think Bobby... I'm glad he was signed after. It was announced that he was signed after. Whether or not he was signed, like how Eddie Kingston and other people have been signed, like, oh, damn, I have to sign you after that match. Or was it he was already signed and they just announced it after the match? But... because Bobby Fish has a resume, he's known, you know what I mean? They know what Bobby Fish is capable of, so I'm sure they didn't need him to trial. But he showed up anyway. He showed out. He looked great. There was a point where he hit a Falcon Arrow that was absolutely gorgeous. He performs his moves. I like the way he moves in the ring. Everything seems deliberate. And yeah, Bobby Fish, I'm a big fan of him. I'm glad he has signed with AEW. I think he is just going to come in. I don't think he's going to be, unless Kyle O'Reilly joins him. Unless Kyle O'Reilly joins him, I don't see him being anything too major. Potentially, and some more TNT title shots in the future, potentially on TV or something like that, or on a Rampage. But he could be there to put over younger talent. he is really good at work. He's a great worker, so he could be there to literally help the young guys. And I think, what is he, 45, 44, 45? So I think that's a good role. Unless Kyle O'Reilly comes, and then you can just reform Red Dragon, and all will be lovely in the world again. But, you can only hope. I don't imagine Kyle O'Reilly sticking around NXT 2.0 for too long, because I still haven't watched an episode, but I just can't. I look at it and I just can't. I mean, I see people, seems like they're forcing themselves to watch it, and I'm just like, I could never force myself to watch something and pretend it's good. So unless it is actually good, I can't react to it, else it's just going to be me hating and throughout the whole thing, do you know what I mean? And on people I like Tommaso Ciampa, so I don't really want to do that. So I just don't watch it. I'll watch it if it ever becomes good and it stops being a developmental show, but who knows what's going to happen? Who knows what they're going to do with it? But anyway, enough of that depressing shit. Bobby Fish, yeah, he looked really good in this match. Sammy Guevara looked really good as well. I like the work that Sammy Guevara is doing. He's a very happy guy, Sammy Guevara. He seems. I want to see kind of really angry. I haven't seen him. I don't feel like I've seen him angry. Even when he's angry, I don't feel like he gets angry. But maybe that's just me. But yeah, no, Sammy looked really good anyway. What a match this was. I really liked it. Sammy Guevara gets the win with the guys. They're not called the GTS. It's called something else. I'm so bad with finisher names. I just can't remember them all. But because everyone has so many signature moves now. But yeah, he hits him with the reverse GTS. That's what I'm going to call it. The inverted GTS. He gets the win. And yeah, like I said, guys, it was a really good match. I'm going to give it a B- for match quality, which I think is a fair grade for this segment. I think it was really good, but it's what's happened after this match which divides opinion. So basically, out come American Top Team with Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page, and they come out with Paige Van Zant, the MMA guys, Junior Dos Santos, etc. They come out and they start beating down Sammy Guevara like bad. They ignore Bobby Fish. He just rolls out of the ring, but they beat down on Sammy Guevara. Fuego del Sol runs in to help, but he's not much help because he's about 5'1", and he's against former heavyweight champions, so he got easily dismissed, as you'd expect. He was getting elbowed. They were getting it looked good, to be fair. It looked like I liked this brawl. Personally, I did, but I know what people have feelings about the American Top Team stuff. I like it because, again, I am a UFC fan, so I quite like seeing the cross between both, and I'm a big fan of Dan Lambert, so biased, but I don't care. So, yeah, that beatdown happens. There's this one annoying thing, so I'm about to tell you. Jericho's music hits, because he makes the come in for the save. Jericho's music hits. Why? I have no idea. It's a run-in. And unless it's a surprise return run-in, or it's like... I don't know. I just never liked music. It's like you're announcing to everyone that it was a planned run-in. I don't like it. Just don't play music. Just run out. When would you... What, did you stop by Gorilla and be like, I'm running out, by the way? Or did you run past the audio guy and just be like, by the way, can you play my music? And pyro. There was so much pyro. What? There was pyro on a run out. So that is my one critique for this whole segment, in that there was pyro and music on a Chris Jericho and Jake Hager run out to help their friend. Anyway... the Inner Circle might as well be over at this point. They just need to one story, turn one of them heel or something like that, and then you could just end it all. Or I don't know. Or maybe they're just going to stay friends, distant friends, and just do their own thing. I have no idea, but I don't know. I don't understand it. Anyway, Chris Jericho runs down to all this pyro and music. Dan Lambert hates it, and he's hurrying up the song. He's telling them, the audio guy, to turn it off, etc. And then the music ends, but obviously the crowd carries on singing, and it was so funny. I love it because Dan Lambert was like, turn this shit off. He loves it. They've pretty much just let Dan Lambert do what he wants, and it's hilarious. It's such good stuff. But so he's shouting at the crowd whilst they're singing the song. It was proper babyface versus heel stuff, and it was so good. And then nuclear heat Dan Lambert has, because he starts speaking. I at home watching on telly did barely even could pick up what he was saying. It was ridiculous how loud these boos were. Like nuclear heat, like worse than MJF heat. That's the kind of heat that this guy was getting. It was crazy, and you couldn't hear a word he said. He was saying something about Jorge Masvidal being some gangster or something like that. He was talking about like territorial things, and then they booked a match for next week. Basically, Chris Jericho says, "No one heard what you said. I'm going to beat the shit out of you." Blah blah blah, and they booked the match, and that's what we're getting next week, I believe. But damn Lambert, whoever. I hope Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky benefit basically from Dan Lambert, because he is amazing. I do feel like, though, a great replacement if Dan Lambert is like, this isn't forever. I know that it's such a like controversial thing and people hate him, and I doubt it would ever happen, but Jim Cornette would play that role, I think, just as good, and the heat would be great, if not better. So that would, imagine Jim Cornette in that role. Well, that's pretty much what Dan Lambert is doing. He's playing Jim Cornette, but just with the American Top Team. So, but anyway, that was that. Like I said, that segment. If I had to grade that segment, I'd probably give it a C, a solid C, maybe a C plus, just because I didn't. The music just did not make sense. So actually, I'm going to give it a C, not even a C plus, a C, a solid C. I didn't like the music bit. It could have perhaps got higher if, I don't know. I don't think they could have anything. It's a C. It was a good segment though. I liked it a lot. So next we get a Darby Allin interview, and basically he's talking about what MJF was saying last week. It's a pretty dark interview. He speaks about his uncle, how he was 5 years old and his uncle passed away in a car accident as he was drink driving. And it got real, basically. You know, Darby Allin is such a baby face, and this just makes you want to cheer for him more. Do you know what I mean? Like, Darby Allin, yeah, this is going to be a great story. Darby Allin, you know, I love sit down interviews with Jim Ross. They're so good. It just feels like you get to know the person. I remember when Brian Pillman did it helped him, and you know, other people that have done these sit down. CM Punk, not that it helped him, but they're so interesting to watch, and I really do enjoy them, especially because it's with Jim Ross. I just, you know, because his opinion on wrestling and everything, it's a nice touch, you know. But yeah, this leads into a Darby Allin match against Nick Camarato, the big hairy guy from Dark with the weird white. What would you? I don't know, like a phantom robes or whatever you'd call it. Move, fly! It's a fly on my bloody screen. Anyway, yeah, Nick Camaro, the weird guy. I know. I like. He's got a good look, but what he wears is questionable. Anyway, so Darby gets rid of him in about 5 minutes. Nothing really great, obviously. This match is getting a D from me. Like I said, it wasn't that interesting. I was writing my notes a lot through this match, so didn't really. I paid attention to it, but again, it wasn't like great. QT Marshall all of a sudden came down to the ring and basically, you know, tried to attack Sting. Sting no-sold his cutter, diamond cutter, and then he got up and then he hit him with a scorpion death drop. But that was weird. I don't know why QT Marshall even came down. He just. Didn't need to be on there, basically. This is getting a D, this little segment. The interview, I'm not going to grade, but yeah, this whole segment gets a D from me. Not that it was bad and I hate Darby Allin or Sting. I don't want anyone to be like, how can you give them a segment with Sting in it a D? It was just meh. It was just meh. This show was great, and this wasn't one of the reasons it was a great show. What happens later with Darby Allin helped towards one of the reasons it was a great show, but anyway. So moving on, we have a let's talk about the beat. Now that I've mentioned it, we might as well talk about the beatdown. So basically, Darby Allin's being interviewed backstage. He goes to basically a limousine pulls up on him. Darby Allin's like all immediately suspicious, and then he basically starts. He takes his top off, basically getting ready for a fight, and then. was it 4 or 5? I can't remember all the members were there. Spears, blah blah blah. 5. What am I on about? 5. Oh yeah, there was 5. Yeah, it would have been 5. Yeah. So all the they were all there basically, but they were all wearing like. It's like if you were a group of burglars, they were all wearing balaclavas, they were all wearing black boots, black trousers, combat trousers, tucked into the boots. A bunch of thugs, basically. It looked like a crime was being committed, and poor Darby Allin was a victim of a mugging, just in the car park at work. Anyway. So yeah, he got a really good beat down backstage. They threw him into a stop sign that was against the metal doors where Laurie's back onto. He was thrown into that. It looked brutal. He was beating the crap up. They beat the shit out of him, to be honest. It looked really good. The camera got into close to Darby's face to show, basically him selling the beatdown. He couldn't breathe. He was booted in the stomach and things like that. So it was a really good beatdown. As far as beatdowns go, this is one of the better ones that AEW have done recently. It looked legit. It looked really good. 5 against 1. MJF looked like a coward. He is trying to break Darby Allin as much as possible, but Darby Allin, I think he's going to resist and not going to break, and then it's going to be a really good match. But I do think that MJF has to go over in this match when it happens at Full Gear. I think MJF needs to win after the Jericho thing. Not that I said last week, he doesn't need the win because you've almost forgotten about it. But I think the win this stage in their careers would be beneficial to MJF more, because Darby Allin is always going to be, over enough, and MJF he's probably a bit further along than Darby Allin is, I would say. So I think that MJF needs to get a win. If Hangman's going to be the champion come Full Gear, then MJF versus Hangman is going to be sweet if they go down that road. MJF could actually be the one to dethrone Hangman Page. I would like that. Props more than an Adam Cole or someone like that, but I think MJF should be the one. If we are predicting we're seeing into the future here. So obviously I think that Hangman Page is going to beat Kenny at Full Gear, and then maybe, I don't know, however long Hangman has the title, then obviously MJF, I think, is going to come in, be the youngest ever AEW World Champion, and it's going to be amazing, and we're all just going to live in that moment of the MJF era, and it's going to be great. But his time will come. People are saying, MJF's going to get lost in the shuffle, Hangman Page is going to get lost in the shuffle. Who got lost in the shuffle? Who, bitch? Who was lost in any shuffle? They are literally some of the most over guys in the company. Tony Khan loves them. We all love them. Why are these negative losers even allowed gadgets to go on social media? It winds me up. But anyway, so we then go into we basically go into the Hikaru Shida versus right, so then we go into a match that I was really looking forward to and I think was really good, which was Hikaru Shida versus But yeah, no, I'm going to give that whole segment with the Darby beatdown, I'm going to give that segment a B. I thought it was a really good beatdown. I liked the selling from Darby, and yes, I am now more excited about this feud because of said beatdown. So, thumbs up, I'm giving it a B. A B is going to be a running theme in this show. So moving on, we have Hikaru Shida versus Serena Deeb, and I'll say it right now, I've said it on Twitter throughout the whole show, Serena Deeb is the best technical wrestler in wrestling, and she could potentially be one of the better workers in all of wrestling as well. Definitely in AEW. She's definitely the best worker in AEW in my opinion. Her or Thunder Rosa for me, but Serena Deeb is so clean, and the little details. So in this match was set around Hikaru Shida winning her 50th win. Was she going to get her 50th win? They had a little trophy there for her. She would have been the first female to do so. And they put her against Serena Deeb because Hikaru Shida wanted her 50th win to be against a veteran, someone that she respected in the ring. I believe that was the build-up anyway. So the match gets underway. It's a really great match. Shida needs to hit harder, basically. She doesn't hit nowhere near hard enough for what what she needs to be. I think Serena had trouble selling her stuff because it was not as impactful as it should have been. So I think it looked like Serena was overselling like weak hits, which wasn't Serena's fault. I think Shida just needs to be less timid. So yeah, and then basically the match was a slow technical wrestling match, really. There were some really good spots in it. So Shida hit her Falcon Arrow. She hit that a couple times toward the end of the match. They both hit their finishes, I believe. Both got kickouts. And then it was Serena Deeb who made Shida tap out in the end with her finish move, which is like a modified clover leaf where you trap the arm. It looked really good anyway. So that's how that match ended. And then after the match, Serena Deeb basically turns heel, and obviously I think she was the clear person that was wrestling the heel type match anyway. So she turns heel after the match, I believe because she probably feels disrespected that there was a trophy and everything already for Shida's win. So she basically gets the trophy, smacks it round her head, smacks it round her noggin, and basically breaks the trophy in half, turns heel. This match was really good. Again, I just think Shida needs to hit a little bit harder, and Serena Deeb is probably the best. I like how she really pays attention to her details. She's one of the best workers in the world. Even when she has like someone in the octopus stretch or the octopus hold, she was like grabbing at the muscles and the abdomen and grabbing at the ribs, digging her thumbs into it, like rubbing her elbow. I love that shit. I love all that detailed shit, like Zack Sabre Jr. and everything. So yeah, give me more Serena Deeb. I hope she's in the tournament. We'll get onto that next. It's not. I think that happened a lot sooner in the show, but we'll get onto the TBS Championship next because I'm a fan of this. I know that there's mixed opinions, but I'm a fan of this. The TBS Women's Championship, it's not really known in America to have North America to have mid-card women's titles. I think this is brand new. We've never seen really anything like it, and I'm excited to see it. And I'm thanking the gods above we did not get women's tag team titles. Can you imagine? AEW women's tag team titles, I would have really disliked that. That would have been absolutely horrible. That would have been an awful decision by AEW. I hope that they never get those titles. Those titles are clearly worthless. I believe them to be the most worthless titles in all of wrestling, lower than any title that you bring up. Bring up a title that's on TV, and they are the least important. I had actually put the 24/7 title over the Women's Tag Team Championship. So that's my opinion on that. Don't want to see them. If I see them, I'm gonna rant about it until they are gone, and that could be forever. But oh well. So we've got a new TBS title, a women's single title. There's going to be a tournament for it. I'm all for it. It will give people like Jade Cargill and a bit more of the greener women a chance to, kind of achieve something. They can give them a chance to look. Basically, the belt will be making these stars. The TBS Championship will be the belt that makes the star, and I think people like Jade Cargill, people like Layla Hirsch, people like that who are up and comers from Dark, they could really do with this kind of rub. I think you should keep the elite with the elite, and Thunder Rosa. I've seen people say Thunder Rosa for the TBS title, maybe as a inaugural champion, maybe, but surely you'd give it to Jade Cargill because Thunder Rosa is AEW women's title material, and I think it would be a drop down for Thunder Rosa. I don't know why people are saying Thunder Rosa. It would be a good image and look, but to me that would be, I can't beat Britt Baker, so I'm going to go for the lesser title, which I would not be. I wouldn't agree with that. I think Thunder Rosa is far better than that. I think Serena Deeb is far better than that. Well, if Serena Deeb was in the tournament, I would want her to win it, just out of pure bias, and I just wanted to see her win. And it wouldn't be bad because I don't think she's going to be in the AEW women's title picture anytime soon if she's just turned heel. And we obviously have our heel champion, DMD, Britt Baker. So I am happy with the title. It's a lovely looking belt. It looks like the TNT belt basically with TBS there instead. It's blue, one's red. Ironic. And yeah, it's basically just that. I imagine we're getting the trios belt soon as well. They're probably more urgently needed because of the amount of 6-man tags that we see. Why not? It just makes more sense. Just have them. I don't know how you would announce it. I don't know what you're going to do with it. Maybe have another tournament, a 6-man tournament on YouTube. I don't know. Maybe you have to. I don't know how you're going to do it, but you need to do something. You've got plenty of factions now, plenty of 3-man groups. It would be really fun actually to see a tournament based around trios, and maybe you can, tell the story of a trios match a little bit more tactics, more 6-man tag team wrestling that doesn't seem like it's just a spot fest. Not that everything AEW 6-man tag is a spot fest, because they're not. Even though people like to say they are, they're not, because they do have interesting and cute stories as well. They're very detailed. You just got to look for the Easter eggs and things like that, and storytelling. But I think with the titles, it's easier to tell a story for 6-man matches, basically. Apart from the rivalry that's probably going on between the two teams. But yeah, so that was Tony Khan's big announcement. We got a new TBS championship. I am going to quickly go back and grade the Hikaru Shida and Serena Deeb match. I will give that match let's give it a B-. Again, it could have been a lot better. I think the match would have been a lot better had Shida kind of not pulled her weight, but just made it look a bit more believable for me. So that match is going to get a B-. Probably a bit biased because I like both women and I've been big fans of them for many, many years. Deeb more recently. So it's main event time, and this was one of the best parts. It was probably the best part of the show for me. You get so I won't go into the ending just yet, but basically the match starts out with who started this match? Pac and Orange Cassidy started this match. That's right, because it reminded me of their Revolution match. So they start out similar. Pac is so Orange Cassidy is about to start doing his hands in pockets, his shtick. Pac says, no, let's fight for real. So Orange Cassidy takes off his t-shirt, and I told you he's getting bigger, he's bulking, and soon that laziness thing will be put in the back burners, and Orange Cassidy will be a legit, believable wrestler, and I think that will be the best move for him, because that shtick will get old. And I think it already has started to, as I said last week. But yeah, so these two go at it, and basically, there's some good spots here, back and forth between these two. Andrade then comes out, El Idolo, he comes out, and they need to do something with him because I'm starting not to care, and that's really bad because I really, really enjoyed him in NXT and with Zelina Vega, but this stuff's just not working, and then there's segments where I just don't understand what he's trying to say. It doesn't come across how it's supposed to. And I don't know. Andrade just needs a little bit of work, that's all. He just needs a little bit of work, a little bit of direction. It's difficult, I don't know who you're going to get to speak for him because he can't speak. I'm afraid he just can't speak. Not yet, anyway. But anyway, he comes out. He does some really cool stuff. He's amazing. Again, he's just not over. So yeah, he goes after everyone. And I think Lance Archer actually comes out next, but he comes out during the break. I'm not too sure. I got to see it. I believe they said we're going to a picture-in-picture break, and then Lance Archer comes out. It was like 10 seconds, literally, just before he came out. But anyway, Lance Archer comes out. He comes out with a guy. Jake the Snake Roberts is back with him, which after seeing Lance Archer with Suzuki Gun and Suzuki, I just want to see him there with them all the time, associated with them. Jake the Snake, what is he? He doesn't add anything, so I don't know why he's there. But anyway, he's there. He comes out. He's got this guy. This guy's being outpowered by Jake the Snake Roberts, however old he is. He's got him by the collar or something, and then Lance Archer comes out, does his usual, kills the guy. He threw him at Andrade. He threw a man. He comes out, he throws a fully grown man, Andrade ducks, and they do a little cool spot. Lance Archer clears house. Again, this guy's got a lot of potential. As you have seen, if you haven't seen my tier list, go back and watch it. You would have seen where I ranked all of AEW's roster, but Lance Archer definitely has potential. Even though he's been around a while, he has potential to be something good, and yeah, he performed well in this match. And then we get, I can't remember who was next. I believe it was either Matt Hardy, who actually no one cares about, and this is his worst run he's ever been on, and I just don't want to see him ever. I just don't want to see him on TV. I just don't want to see him anymore. Unless he's going to... The last time I see Matt Hardy, the next thing I want from Matt Hardy is either to team up with Jeff to give us a last hurrah, or not at all, because this stuff sucks. Anyway, Matt Hardy was in the match. He does a big spot, to be fair. He puts Orange Cassidy through a table with the vintage double leg drop from the old TLC days. He does the and I don't know what that was, but he does that. That was a cool spot, to be fair, but I don't want to see Matt Hardy on my television. Anyway, so Mox comes out next. He gets really big reaction. Lance Archer actually goes to meet him halfway because of that story that they've got going on with Suzuki Gun. And basically, yeah, they meet. They start fighting in the crowd. Then they're all fighting. It wasn't like the best ladder match in the world. It wasn't meant to be, because it was on TV, right? And this match was all built for the Joker, who was next, and it was, of course, Hangman Adam Page. And what more can I say? He came out to one of the biggest pops you'll ever hear for a return for AEW. It's definitely the best return for AEW that they've ever done, and this was great. I got I was grinning. I was grinning from ear to ear, to be honest, when his music hit. His music is great. His whole package is great. The whole cowboy thing is great. And it just got me hyped. It got me hyped because I was envisioning him hitting that buckshot lariat on Omega. They did scare me a little bit with Mox throughout this match. Towards the end of the match, I was like, oh my God, are they going to have Moxley win? Oh my God. But no, Moxley was purely there to make the whole thing even better. The best spot of the whole show, the best spot of the whole match, the best spot that I've seen since probably the cage match, obviously, is Hangman doing his reverse tombstone through the table off the top of the ladder. I forget what it's called. Let me see if I can find. I'm going to get better with these finisher names, guys. I don't know why I'm so bad with them. Maybe I'm used to all of the old finishers from back in the day or what, but I will get better at these finishers. I haven't got it on my notes. Every finisher that I've forgotten, someone hit me up in the comments and please let me know what they are, because I'm so bad with finishers. Anyway, for now, we'll call it the reverse tombstone, reverse air raid, or whatever you want to call it. He hits that on Pac, devastating, looks crazy. But yeah, obviously, Hangman goes on to win the match. He gets the poker chip. He wins, and the crowd go crazy. You get a great scene of Hangman drinking his beer with his big poker chip at the end of the show. He's sitting on top of the ladder, and yeah, this whole match for me is getting a B+. It was on TV, which was great to see this kind of thing on TV. AEW are just so good at giving their fans a lot on TV, but not too much, where the pay-per-views are died down or watered down. Whoever says Tony Khan is not a good booker, he is a good booker in my opinion. He's a very clever booker, and I think you need to trust AEW's decisions moving forward. Yeah, he's had a few hiccups, but he's like never, this is his first time ever booking a wrestling show, you know what I mean? So I'm sure you would come up with a few roadblocks if you was booking, but overall I think he has done a great job. I think he's been Booker of the Year for the last 2 years. If there was a Booker of the Year, he would be Booker of the Year for the last 2 years in any promotion. He's great, and what he's doing for all of us is so good. We should all be so grateful, because what we are getting on a weekly basis is, quite frankly, ridiculous. It is ridiculous. This has been a very positive one for me, because I'm I was waiting for that kind of come down show, and it just hasn't happened yet. Maybe it's because of all the talent they have now. You're just excited every week to see something. And this week it was Hangman Adam Page, and he will take on Kenny Omega at Full Gear, and it's going to be so good, guys. It's going to be so good. I cannot wait. That whole card. So on that card, pretty much without announcing it, you've got Hangman versus Kenny for the AEW World Title. You've got Darby versus MJF in a grudge match. Those 2 matches alone are fantastic, and that's enough for me to think that this pay-per-view, if the other matches fit around it nicely, if we get our Britt versus who would be next for Britt? Would it be hopefully Thunder Rosa? But I don't know what's going to happen after this tournament, because this tournament's a bit weird, because if they put all these women in the tournament, and these women, there's going to be a lot of losses in that tournament, which means a lot of women are going to lose to the eventual TBS champion, which leaves very little fresh contenders for Britt Baker, DMD. So it's questionable. I don't know who's next in line for Britt Baker. Ruby Soho might be good for her to go into the tournament and win it, because she's already lost to Britt Baker, and then keep someone out of the tournament to go against Britt Baker. I don't know, but you can't have all your women go into this tournament and have everyone lose, and then have them be a believable opponent for Britt Baker. So they need to figure that one out. They need to figure that one out quickly as well, because it's all going to happen very quickly, and then before we know it, who's going to be against Britt? You need it to be as good as the men's main event. In my opinion, it needs to be. You need to have a good match on the pay-per-view. So who knows what they're going to do there? But Full Gear is looking so good. I can't wait for Full Gear. Every quarter when there's a AEW pay-per-view, I'm just so hyped. November is going to be such a amazing month for wrestling, and yes, I can't wait. I cannot wait, guys. Let me know what you thought of what you would give the. Let me know what you would grade any of these segments. If you agree with me, let me know down below. If you disagree with me, let me know in the comments as well. Also, if you like this video, go check out my other videos as well. I've got last week and the week before. I've only been on YouTube a short while, but I do have other reviews of past shows like Rampage and Dynamite, and I also have an AEW men's roster tier list, so go check that out. You can see where I rank currently the updated men's roster. I will be back tomorrow, guys, with a new video. It will be my top 10 AEW matches you must see, so be sure to check that out. Like and subscribe, and peace.